Hello and welcome to this Sony Alpha webinar. My name is Ben Pilling, I'm from Sony, and today we're going to be looking at wildlife photography. We're going to be looking at wildlife photography with Sony cameras and lenses, and we're going to be joined by three special guests who are experts in this field. So without further ado, let's bring them in. So, welcome gentlemen. I'm joined today by Gustav Kiburg, Antonio Liebana, and Petar Sabol. Hello!
Hi.
Hello.
Now, like I say, you guys are experts in the field of wildlife photography. And just so our audience can understand a little bit about who you are and what you do, I want you to just maybe give them a little bit of an introduction, a brief description about yourself, what you do in photography, or maybe how you got started as well. So why don't we start with Gustav? Tell us a little bit about you and your photography.
Hi, guys. My name is Gustav. I live in the Netherlands. I'm 55 years old. Wildlife photography. It all starts with like a hobby. I like photography. I like to be in the wild, in nature. And so I grow and I grow and I start with the Sony camera A700. So now I have the A1, of course. I come from Norway to South America. I have a personal slogan: bad weather is color weather. So I like to be with a little bit cloudy weather, not with highlights, so not with the sun. What can I say? I like to advise people on the field what they must use for bird photography and that sort of things. So that's a little bit about me. And I like in my photography, I like colors. Colors is for me very important. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, that's really interesting. Thank you very much, Gustav. Give us a bit of a snapshot into your world. What about you, Antonio? Tell us a bit about you and your photography.
Hello. I'm from Spain, from Madrid, based in Madrid, and I have been photography with life for more than 25 years. I'm a professional photographer since 15 years, more or less. And I'm a photographer for National Geographic Spain and WWF, and author of 8 books, and I'm a technical director of several conservation projects of Peñalajo. This is a place where the people go to take pictures to the links and then comes to help to conserve the space of the links. I travel around the world all years. I stay more or less 200 days outside of my house, maybe more. Traveling around the world in different places like Antarctica, Kenya, Yellowstone, whatever place, and Spain too. Spain is a wonderful place to take pictures. And I have been working with Sony for 3 years, and I am very happy with the photography equipment since then. Okay.
Wow, that does sound really amazing. What about you, Petar? Tell us a bit about you and your photography.
Hi there. So I'm a professional photographer from Croatia, and I started with photography from 2007, and with Alpha 100. It was first Sony's digital SLR on A mount, and since then I got through almost every Sony camera that was available, and pretty much I have a lot of experience with that cameras, so I wanted to be different from the guys around me from the club and so, because almost every at that time had Canon, Nikon, and so on, but time has changed, and now I can say that there are lots more Sonys there, of course, and so I'm doing professional work for weddings, events, portraits, everything. But the main focus and the greatest love is, of course, wildlife photography, especially macro and birds. So, and just to say, I started my journey also with photography competitions where I have been very successful. I have won more than 600 awards, and I'm a jury member in the international competitions, and that's it.
Wow, I like that phrase at the end. That's it. You guys have just told us some amazing experiences online with us today. So I'm really excited to hear about your stories. Now, to give our viewers a bit more of a visual impression of your work, we're just going to ask you to talk us through some of your images. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Gustav, and we're going to look through some of your images here that you can talk us through and tell us a little bit about them so we can see exactly what you're talking about there. So tell us about this photo, Gustav.
Well, this is taken in Costa Rica. It's it's a toucan, and well, I like this picture very much. And why? Because it has a smooth background. The colors are nice. So it's what I told you before. Bad weather. I like color weather. So I go to Costa Rica or Ecuador always in the rain season or on the end of the rain season because I want to have the clouds. When you have hard light, you get the shadows from his beak on his chest. You don't want that. So it's cloudy weather. And some people think, well, this is easy, but it's not easy. And maybe my colleagues can say that also, because 90% of the toucan that sit on the branch is with his tail on the other side of the branch. So he looks to you, but you want this picture with his tail in front of you. But 90% of when he sits there is with the tail on the backside. So yeah, I take a lot of shots, but just a few shots with this. So I was very happy with it. And the colors, the branch, and the light, everything is perfect.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Let's have a look at another image, shall we?
Yes. Well, the second one, this is taken in Ecuador, and this is the two hummingbirds. And well, they look for each other, but when they sit to each other, they always have fighting or I'm bigger, I'm much stronger, and that's nice because you have this, you get these shots. They make the wings open for I'm the boss. The light is great. I always use normal light, so natural light. Don't flash, don't LED lights, just natural light. And well, the sun was perfect, shining just a little bit between the clouds, and then the lights come on the wings of the birds, and yeah, it was great to. And then the beaks come together. It was, yeah. And of course, you take this shot because you have. I taken this with the A1, and it has 20 or 30 pictures in 1 second. So it goes so fast. So I take this shot. I always take 1 or 2 seconds, press the button, so I have 30, 60 pictures in one shot.
No, it's beautiful. I love the colours. I mean, you were mentioning on your last shot, like say the background, and from looking at your guys' work, something that's really struck me is the background on the images. And there, like I say, kind of the purple contrast against the green in background, but then also the green of the hummingbird. It works so well. And I guess I suppose, like you say, as well as firing off a lot of shots, I guess with the hummingbird you have to use quite a quick shutter speed, I guess, to kind of get it really still. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you see you take so much pictures, and when you are get home, you see some funny things on it that you don't see in the field.
Yeah, exactly. This is probably beyond what your eye can see, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. So when we go to the third picture, this is a puffin. It's taken in Ireland. In 4 weeks, I go back to Ireland, especially for the puffins. I like puffins. They have great colors. Before I say I like the colors of birds, and they have great colors. And well, look, you see him standing on the stone with moss on it, yellow moss. But you see it also in the background, so it's getting a nice combination of it. Well, his orange feet and his orange beak, and then it's amazing that he has so much fish in his beak. Sometimes when you count it, you see 10 or 20 or 15 fishes in his beak, and you know when they have fish in their beak, they have um, young puffins. They have a nest with young puffins. And so I always go in Europe when I go to shoot puffins. Maybe that's also a tip for everybody. I go always from half June to the puffins. Then you have the big chance that the eggs are open, that you have young puffins, and then you get the shots of. You have more chance to have these shots with fish in the beak.
Yeah, I guess you know where they're coming back to, so they can,
Yeah.
But it's really nice. It almost looks like he's turning to look down your lens, And when people are doing portraits, they ask the model to stand side on and look to them. It's
Yeah,
kind of
well, maybe I saw from my colleagues some has also puffin pictures. When they come back, they sit for a while before they go to the nest. They don't fly directly to the nest. Sometimes they sit and they wait 15 minutes or everything is okay, and then they go to the nest. And you take the shot. So it's yes, and also here you have a little bit cloudy weather.
mm,
For the light. You don't see hard shadows. I like that very much.
no,
So
beautiful.
we shall go to the fourth picture.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, it's taken in Spain, so one of my colleagues know where it is. It is in the Pyrenees. Um, I don't. I forgot the English word for it, but my colleague can say it maybe. Um, well, what I like about this picture is that you see this bird. It's a vulture. It's a vulture, and you see his habitat. You see where he lives. You see the mountains, and yeah, you see, and the bird is sharp, and the mount. You see the mountains; they are unsharp, and this vulture eat the bones. So you have also vultures that eat the meat of the bones. But when the meat is gone and you only have bones, he
Mm-hmm.
eat it. And when it's too big, he take it with him, he flies, and then he let it fall, the bones. Then when it comes on the rock, it goes in pieces, and then he swallow it, he eats it. So
No.
um, yeah, the most of the pictures I take with 400 2.8, but also with the 200 600, because I like these two lenses. It is a great combination. The 400 is perfect, of course, and the 200 600, yeah, you have the zoom, of course. So I
No.
go to my last picture, number 5. There's this. Well, this is a special story because everybody, you can say every picture is already taken eh, to somebody. But when I give a lecture in the Netherlands for 5 people or 600 people, I always say, if you find this picture on the internet, I pay you a restaurant. I pay you a restaurant because
Yeah.
I never see this picture before. It's a very rare situation. I was in Helgioland. That's a small
Mm,
be in between Denmark and Germany. I go Sunday too for a week there, and I photographed this northern gannet, the lowest, the under northern gannet, and he flies to his nest with nest material. You see, that's seaweed, or how do you say that? Um,
mhm.
and suddenly from above, there's jump. He was taken attack by another northern gannet, and he takes his nest material. And I take this shot with the 7200, but I have the under northern gannet in my frame, and suddenly I have two birds in my frame. So I zoom back to 70 millimeters, and then I take this shot, and I was very happy because it's very rare. You never see it before, and yeah, I'm very proud of this picture because it's yeah.
No, all of the images are stunning. I mean, like I say, one thing I've learned from you already is weather is very important. You said it when you were introducing yourself, but then, like I say, what you were talking about in terms of the lighting of your other images or the sun shining down on the bird before, like I say, I guess it makes and breaks the shot sometimes. So I guess you have to like kind of plan that into exactly where you're going. You were mentioning that the time of year to go, but even just the time of day as well, I guess, is
Yeah.
is super important to your photos in general. But
Yes, and everybody say to me, Gustav, you have luck that you take this shot. And then I say, well, what's luck? I go 2 or 3 times a year. I'm standing there in the rain, in the sun, in the wind, in warmth, in cold. So if you go back, you high your chances to take special shots. Go and go and go, and that's what I can say. You must go again. Try to do it, and your chances are bigger then.
well, no, like I say, as we say, you make your own luck. But I suppose from your experience, you know, you've learned also the good times to try and go and get your chance that you can take it. So that's really fantastic, Gustav. Thank you very much for showing us those shots. What we're going to do now is we're going to also have a look at some of Petar's shots as well. So he's going to talk us through his photography as well. So, Petar, talk us through your first image here.
Yeah, so the kingfisher, actually, it's a queenfisher, it's a female one. My love, how to say, nothing else, it's pure love, because I fell in love with these birds in 2013, and then I started to photograph, so it's more than 10 years now. And I even managed, after building a relationship and trust and everything with the bird, that I was helping to feed the kingfisher during the winter days, because I brought the living fish into the canal and I put there the fishes, so a bird was used to be there and realized that I'm her friend. So then it even perched on my palm. It was one of the most amazing feeling that I ever experienced. So I'm really, grateful for all this. But as Gustav has said, it's not luck. It's you have to work for this. You have to plan this, especially in these shots. So um, I have to care about the light. I love when light is very like golden when it's early morning or late evening. So this only lasted for about like 15 minutes. So I positioned that branch just above the water. So I was expecting kingfisher to arrive there. So and it was that, yeah, because I didn't even have to wait for. Sometimes you have to wait several hours or spend days, like Gustav said. But with the my kingfisher, it's a little bit different story now, thankfully. So I don't even need sometimes the height, and sometimes I only have to go into the tent and maybe wait 1 or 2 minutes, and she's already there. So she's basically used to me, and but the most interesting thing in all that story with Kingfisher is that she lives in the wild, so and it's a adult one. So it was not like you have found some young birds, then feed them or something. So it's an adult one, and that's the most amazing thing. So the picture you see, it's very colorful because kingfisher even change the feather on the change its color as it's when it exposed to the sun, it's more like turquoise or a bit green, but in the cloudy days it's more blue. So that's interesting thing. You anybody who will take shots of kingfisher will notice these changes. And it was taken in Croatia, of course, in northern part where I live. I cannot tell you exactly where this is, but you can always visit me, and I will gladly show you.
That is beautiful. Let's have a
Thank you.
look at one of your other images.
Okay,
Ooh.
so now these
Ooh.
are bee eaters. This image even won at the Sony World Photography Awards. So and are mating bee eaters in the spring. I took that shot with Sony. I don't know. It was A99 Mark II, I think. So it was still A mount and 300 millimeter with teleconverter attached. And I have a really nice background because background is very important in photography, especially in macro. But I will talk that a bit later. So background and the subject has to be perfectly sharp and in some interesting position doing something. And so, but the background has to be smooth without any disturbing elements in the frame. So that's the shot I got. So I'm quite satisfied.
Oh, it's really stunning, and like you say, that background is just kind of perfect. So your sharpness on your subject, the branch, everything, even the angle. I guess, like I say, you maybe knew that these guys were going to land maybe on here. I don't know, but it's your angle on this is perfect, kind of looking
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
down at you as well.
straight to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I was
lovely.
lucky because they basically were always standing from side somehow, but they then positioned right in front of me, so it was it.
Oh, that's stunning. Cool. Let's have a
Yeah.
look at another photo.
Okay. Now we have the Queenfisher in action. So this shot was made with 70 to 200 GM2. I was amazed when I got this lens to test because it was so light compared to the predecessor, and
Hmm.
I positioned myself just above the water, and the camera was on the tripod, and I expected somewhere where she will dive, and this all happens very quickly. So also I was surprised with the A1 performance because it's a game changer and it's still rocking. And with animal IF, especially the bird eye focus,
Hmm.
is so working so well. So this happens in blink of second, and but the A1 is capable of getting that shots. So I was, you can actually realize what happened because you see birds that flying away out of water, out of nowhere, actually, and then you just, press the shutter button and hope that you will grab that focus just on right on eyes. And of course, it was it. So I have many these shots, but this somehow is. I like very much because the light was very gentle. It was not a harsh light like in the middle of the day. I don't like that. So I always prefer a bit light clouds or just a little bit of sunshine.
It really is beautiful. in my mind, I'm struggling to work out how you line up this shot because also I know we've seen some images also of kingfishers diving in or out, but I guess you don't see it yet coming out. And you're, as you said, you're on the water level, so your depth of field is so shallow here.
Yeah.
I think. It's great that the Alpha One is and the lens is so good and quick at focusing, but also I think your reactions are very good to be able to
Yes.
capture
I
this.
Yeah, when so much time spent outside, and so you can then um, be more trained and react more quickly. So even when I sometimes look at some photographers that were trying to get some shots, but then when I hear the sound, click, 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 and it's already too late, bro. You have to try faster, you know.
Yeah, I think
But
this is
okay,
your experience definitely coming into play. That's really good. Oh,
yeah,
let's have a look at the let's have a look at the next shot.
yeah, and this one are the damselflies um, on the lotus stem, but it is a bit old picture now. I won many prizes with this picture, and it's a reflection of damselflies, um, and they are on the water,
Hmm.
perfectly calm water. So I have to be really calm to get there and to be able to make a shot, because if I disturb and make some waves, then they will be gone, because I really had to go into the water, into the pond
Ah,
to get closer.
no,
Yeah,
it's truly stunning. And yeah, what you say then, it makes complete sense to me now. When I saw this shot the first time, I was blown away. But yeah, exactly what you say about you need the water to be perfectly calm. But if you if you're in the water, that it must be really difficult. But it is absolutely stunning.
yeah. And luckily, I could put the screen out so I can
Mm,
hold the camera and lens to reach closer. So
no,
luckily, I did it.
that's gorgeous.
Thanks.
Should we have a look at the next image?
Okay. Yeah, and
Ooh.
this is my selfie with the queenfisher after she um, perched on my hand, and then we made actually series of these portraits on the canal, and it was one of the best feelings ever. So
Wow.
uh,
Wow.
I would like to say some tips. So building when you are a wildlife photographer, you have to take care of not disturbing the animal, to be careful, not to make noise, to make you know take care of them, feed animals, of course, to help them survive. And after that, you will be awarded with these kind of shots.
Wow. Well, I don't think I've ever seen an image like that before, that's for sure. And when you said you did portrait photography as well, this wasn't what I was thinking, but it definitely is a beautiful portrait photography and selfie. Thank you
Yeah,
very much for that. That's
thank
really
you.
nice. And then just to get a little bit of an idea about Antonio's work as well, we're going to have a look at some of his images. Now, I'm guessing this probably wasn't in Spain, Antonio, so why don't you tell us a little bit about this shot?
Nice picture to Gustav and Peter. Is absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
Yeah. No, this picture is taken in Churchill in Manitoba, in Canada, during a heavy snowstorm in near to the Hudson Bay, in a border of
Mhm.
the bay, and it's a lot of wind, maybe more or less than 100 kilometers per hour wind, and the polar bear stay lie down and sleeping quietly, and sometimes, only sometimes, stand up and shake the snow. But the most difficult of this picture is the environment, because there is a very
Mm.
cold, and it's very windy, and it's real no it's taken with no tripod, without tripod,
Mm.
and the most difficult is to stay up. Is taking the picture. The most difficult is stay there, just stay, okay? Because you don't have a car, you have nothing, and the most difficult is stay 1 hour waiting the environment and the wind and stay, and just in the moment the camera pray for be on focus, but this is not difficult for Sony. This is absolutely fantastic. Stay focused and fix the focus. All series of the pictures is fantastic and is on focus. It's very nice. It's taken with the A1 and 600 millimeters and 600 and 1.4 extender, and is a marvelous place and marvelous environment with the polar bear. Yeah.
It's
The next
gorgeous.
picture. Yeah. It's very hard condition, really hard conditions. The next pictures is my lovely project. It's Burial Links. Sorry, because I put two pictures of the links. It's impossible to choose only one. And this is for me is I'm very proud for this project because the photographers is going there to take pictures and is very good to protect the burial links places. It's taken with the A1 with the 602, 600 F4. This is I designed this place with a low level. In the spring and all season, you take picture with the low level of the animal. This is very nice for the background. In this place, exactly in this place is very nice for the in the spring of this. You see in the background some flowers in the different white spots is different pictures, and the focus is just only the eyes and little bit. Maybe the eyes and the hair only this because it's taken with the A4, and it's a marvelous place. Is the secret is the water because I sorry the secret is the water because there is
Ooh.
a semi-desertic place. This is a caps. There are three mamas with caps actually now in this place, and we very proud to protect the space of the lynxes. And this picture, the other picture is taken the 15 years ago, 15 days ago, sorry. And this
Oh,
picture is in the
wow.
summer when it's very dry. There is no water around, only in 2 or 3 water holes, artificial water holes. But this is very natural with the sand and it's a scenario, you know. And it's very special because the all wildlife surrounding in the area go to drink water, especially the Iberian lynx. And this is very spectacular to see the caps. This is a cap about 2 months go to drinking water. This is the first times to appears in the water holes, and it's very special in front of me, just 8 meters and low position, F4 600 one with
Mm.
1.4. It's taken with the A1 too, and it's marvelous. I don't see nothing bad about this place.
It's an amazing photo. I mean, I love everything about it. The fact, like Petar and Gustav, I think you have a lot of experience. So the fact that you're in this position front on is maybe
Yeah,
no coincidence because of your
yeah, contact
experience, and
guys.
but
Yeah,
maybe how to position and how Petar was saying before about understanding the animals and being very respectful. I think it's not a coincidence, as the other guys have said. It's not luck
yeah,
that
but
you've got this photo.
it's the same like Peter and Gustav. These pictures is not casualty. This is a hard work around the places
Mm,
who the links pass, put the water in a strategic place. But this is and the light and the low
mm.
position. Everything is in my mind, and later take with my Sony. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next picture, let me check. The next picture is taken in South
Ooh.
Georgia, in near to Antarctica. So Georgia is a gentoo penguin landing to the Iceland, but this is the most difficult. Or the big problem of this picture is you don't see the penguin arrive to the
Mm,
to the to the beach, but because you have only half a second to take a picture with no crop, with the no with natural frame, and this is really difficult because I'm very happy with since I start to use Sony because the animal, the camera looking for the eyes, and I only need to put the bird in the frame because in this when the animal is doing nothing is so easy because in this situation you don't have time to move the scroll, the joystick to the eyes of the animal. You don't have time. In this time, with this system, with this, I usually work with the small flexible area tracking. And it's very nice because just follow the eyes, and I for me it's fantastic for this very very short time pictures. Okay,
No,
okay,
absolutely.
and
Sorry, go on.
sorry, Tim.
No,
Sorry.
I was just going to say what you said there is totally understandable because, particularly looking at the technicalities of cameras, the autofocus, when you have so many different things coming up around the subject, the fact that you,
Yeah,
like I
but
say, you have that focus on the eye is brilliant.
for me it's so easy because we permit the focus in the eyes is absolutely fantastic. When I started to Sony 3 years ago, for me the big problem is the leopard. Later show you a picture with the leopard because there is a small eyes in the skin. Yeah, but for me it's a big problem, and the last cameras, but with Sony, with the Starker Sony, just focusing the eyes, but this is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
The next picture is snowy owl in Canada too. Is taken in this February of this year, exactly with the last light, and it's absolutely with the A1 and 600 F4, and it's absolutely amazing when the low light, the system of the tracking and the follow focus is absolutely. This is I never see nothing like this. It's absolutely fantastic. The tracking of the snowy owl in flight with low lights is absolutely excellent. Yeah, and this is I think it's the last chance in the day. Okay.
I think, well, I mean, the thing that strikes me about this image is what Petar and Gustav were saying, which I think you also pay attention to as well, is the contrast with the background. The background against where it is
The background is
amazing.
yeah. Thank you. The last light is the background is just the last light with the cold the cold day. This is like this. This is no Photoshop.
Wow. Sorry, and let's
Yeah.
have a look at your last image.
Sorry.
Let's have a look at your next image.
Okay. The last is taken with the Air A7R5. This is taken with since a car in the safari in Kenya, in central Masai Mara, and this is I put this picture to explain this, no, but the big problem of the other systems is when you tracking or follow the eyes, sometimes you go to the stripe to the animal print, no, but this is because it's like eyes. Since I have Sony, I don't have this problem. Without A93, A7R5, A7R4 too, and A1 of course. But it's absolutely fixed the focus in the eyes, and you can taking pictures, and when the animal come to me, don't follow. So, my work is put the animal in the frame and look other possible things are surrounding. Okay, but this
No,
is fine.
absolutely.
That's us,
Yeah.
folks.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you very much, Antonio, for showing us
Thank you
that. That's
too.
really interesting and great for us to be able to see the examples of the kind of work that you're doing. Now, our guests are also going to give us some insights into some specific Sony products that they use. So we're going to have a look at that in a second. But first, to give everybody a bit of an introduction for those who are less aware of the kind of things we have available within the Sony system, we're going to have a look at the Sony range. So within the Sony range, of course, we have APS-C models, our Alpha 6000 series, going up to the Alpha 6700 with that 20 megapixel beautiful sensor in there. But we also have on our full frame line the Alpha 7S series. So again, that's our sensitivity series, amazing for low light with great movie capability. We have our C series. So those are the compact cameras with full frame, the Alpha 7C, the C Mark II, and the Alpha 7CR. We have our normal standard Alpha 7 series where you have the likes of the Alpha 7 Mark IV, and also our R series that you have heard reference to there. So those are very high resolution cameras going all the way up to our Alpha 7R Mark V. And as we've also heard a little bit about the Alpha 9 Mark III, one of our latest models, which has 120 frames per second blackout free shooting, as well as the aforementioned Alpha 1, that high resolution 50 megapixel sensor with 30 frames per second. So we offer you a lot of capability from our range, but if we look into a bit more of the details of that, what we can see in some of our latest models is our AI processing chip. So this is something which we launched from the Alpha 7 R Mark V, and what this does, it's a bit of hardware within the camera. So again, it was launched on the Alpha 7 R Mark V, but you can see it's also in the Alpha 9 Mark III, the Alpha 7C-R, the Alpha 7C Mark II, the Alpha 6700, and also our vlogging camera ZV-E1. And this helps the camera really understand in terms of its autofocus and recognition. So in terms of wildlife, it's much more advanced, having also an insect option on there, as well as animals and birds. And even when you look at the different types of animals and birds it's able to identify, it is much more advanced than some of our previous systems, so that it can really recognize that this is the eye of the subject, or if the subject is turned sideways, or as you can see also, a subject might be quite difficult with patterns like a leopard that Antonio just mentioned before there. Now, just to also give you a bit of a brief overview for those of you who are less familiar with some of our models, we're also going to look at the Alpha 9 Mark III. So Antonio is going to talk about his experiences with this camera as well, but that's one of our latest cameras, which is the world's first full-frame global shutter image sensor camera. So that is an amazingly technically advanced image sensor, which has no distortion, 120 frames per second shooting. That's with full autofocus and auto exposure, including raw shooting, blackout free shooting. It has that AI-based real-time recognition, and it also has an option on there for pre-capture, so it can even be recording still images before you fully press the shutter button. So if there is a bird that's maybe on a tree and is not yet set off, even if you're slightly slow with your reactions, it can be pre-recording some things on there as well. The Alpha 9 Mark III has 4K 120p movie recording, and it also has a really cool 4-axis multi-angle LCD monitor on there. So it gives you a bit of a brief overview of that camera and how that can really also be extremely useful for wildlife, and we'll hear a bit more about that from Antonio later. But we also have heard mentioned our Alpha 7R Mark V, which again is a full-frame image sensor, 61 megapixels, so extremely high resolution. And as I mentioned before, this was the first camera where we integrated our AI-based real-time recognition autofocus. But you also get within there great things like 8K movie recording and that same 4-axis multi-angle LCD screen. So again, another great option within our range. And then if we even look at our Alpha 7 Mark IV, this is a 33 megapixel image sensor, which again has great low light capability and has human, animal and bird eye autofocus incorporated with it, as well as the likes of a 4K 60p movie recording from the Super 35 area. So we offer a great capability within those cameras, and also that technology you see coming into some of our other cameras. So if we look at the Alpha 6700, this is part of our APS-C range. It has a fantastic 26 megapixel back illuminated sensor, but it also has that AI processing chip that we mentioned before, which we launched on the Alpha 7R Mark V. So all that great recognition in terms of animals and birds and insects is integrated even into this APS-C model, as well as other advanced features, even for movie recording like 4K 120p. But as you will know, it's not just the body, it's also the lenses, which are extremely crucial for any type of photography. And at time of broadcast, we have over 70 E-mount lenses within our range. Now, in terms of things which are potentially more suitable or applicable for wildlife, of course we have a range of macro lenses, whether you've got the APS-C 30mm, the full frame 50mm, or also the full frame 90mm 2.8 G lens. And then in terms of telephoto lenses, we also have a range of 70 to 200, so we have two f4 lenses. Again, you're going to hear about the 70 to 200 f4 Macro G OSS Mark II lens from Petar as he looks in detail at this lens, but we also have, of course, the 2.8 options, which you've heard a little bit about already as well. There's the 100 to 400 you can see up there, which again is a classic G Master, and the relatively recently announced 300mm 2.8 GM, which Gustav is going to give us a little bit of an insight into. The 200-600 is extremely popular, so very flexible focal length on there. It's an affordable price. And of course, we have those fantastic 400 and 600mm lenses. So again, you heard a little bit about that from the guys before. So Antonio talking about helping him get some of those shots in there. And when we look at those telephoto lenses, so excluding the macro lenses on the left-hand side of the screen there, all of them, apart from the original 7200 f4, are also compatible with the 1.4 times and 2 times teleconverter. And also you can see how that does something really special with the 70-200 G Mark II, which Petar will be talking through a little bit about as well. But rather than me just showing you images on the screen, I'm also now just going to show you a video in terms of the capability. So what you're going to see here again, this is the real-time recognition autofocus in action. So what we're going to see in this video as we go through here is the great capability of all those cameras which have that AI processing chip. So if you play the video, what you're going to see here is you're going to see great recognition capability for those different areas we mentioned. So in terms of the insect recognition, again, it's able to identify the insect and also the head of the insect. Again, here you have end result videos. This is the recorded footage in movie even. So again, you can see the particular lens which was used on each part of the footage here. And as we mentioned, animals have very different faces in terms of the shape and size. So again, whether that's a very large animal or a very small animal, and of course, in terms of where they move, it can be very difficult to understand how that face is going to appear. But all of our cameras with the AI processing chip have really stunning performance, whether that's with the bird, animal, or insect recognition activated. And you can see on all the parts of the footage here, you're really able to focus in on the eye. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how all that works. But rather than me just showing you our video that we created to show that in action, let's speak to our photographers as well about their experiences with our products as well. So I mentioned before that Gustav has been using the 300mm 2.8 G Master, and we're going to have a look at some of his images now and see about his experiences. So Gustav, please tell us about your photos here and our 300mm that you've been using.
Well, this is taken in February. The 300mm was just out a few weeks, I think. And I go to Greece to test this lens. And also with the 1.4 and 2 times teleconverter, because I want to see how good it is, how fast it is, and how sharp it is. Because a lot of people are very curious about how this lens is preferred with 2 times and the 1.4 teleconverter. And this is taken, this is a Dalmatian pelican. It's now landing on the water, on the surface. And this is taken, I think, with the 2 times teleconverter. So this is 600 on f5.6. Well, you can crop what you like. It's sharp and it stays sharp. And then you come on a story about what do you need for wildlife. And I think personal, because we like to travel, we like to see all kind of animals, big till small, but you want also have a light equipment. You can see for example, the 7200, the G Master Mark II is much lighter than the first version. Well, the 300 is that light, and if you have also the 1.4 and the 2 times in your small camera bag, you can do what you want. If you go to Antarctica or to the South America, you can shoot all animals that you want. You have 300 2.8. If you use the 1.4, you have 420 f4. And if you have the 2 times teleconverter with the 300, you have 600 on 5.6. So you have it all. You have the complete range, and you have a light bag of camera, lens, and teleconverters. So this picture is a landed pelican, Dalmatian pelican. You see it on the surface. You see the nice light on his chest. The water drops on his chest, and he opens his wings to brake, to have the speed braking. And I take a lot of shit, and it was great because in February in North Europe it's a little bit gray. A lot of birds are gone away to winter time in Africa and that. But it was a nice, colorful bird, and he was in Greece there. He's breeding also, and I had some wonderful days, and I like the 300. Is well, my next trip with the 300 is to the Puffins, but I think it's almost cheating with this combination with a good camera. But don't forget the settings. The settings is also important. It's not only a great camera and a great lens, but it's also how is the settings that you use. But if you have this whole combination, It's good combination about the lens and how you must put the settings in your camera. Yeah, it's almost cheating. I think it's easy. It's great.
No, I love the photo. It just looks like he's just walking on water, but obviously you've captured that moment where he's just right there, coming and stopping. And I think did you take this on? Was it the Alpha One that you took this on?
It's my favorite camera. It's the Alpha One. It has possibilities to take 30 pictures a second. I don't use that. I use 20 frames a second. I think that's more enough. I like the 50 megapixel, and the autofocus is really sharp and fast. Autofocus is very sharp, fast and accurate. And yeah, I like this combination. It's my favorite camera.
That's lovely. Let's have a look at another photo, shall we?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, what I say, I like colors. I like bad weather. This is a little bit cloudy. The sun was there, but it was not very hard. Yeah, it's you see the water blue. The beak is red, the orange of his around his eye. You see all the details. This is also taken with this 2x teleconverter, so 600 millimeters. And this is the reason that I showed it, because I used also this picture on Alpha Universe, this picture, to show all the details that you have with a 2x teleconverter on 600 millimeters. And that's great about birds because they have a lot of details about the feathers. And you see all the details. You see the water drops on his feathers. So yes, I like it. I always say you don't have to see the whole bird. Sometimes you can make show a part of it.
I think, yeah, it's a really good example because I think that probably with teleconverters, people are probably concerned with two things, as you mentioned there, kind of the resolution. So is any resolution lost, and probably the autofocus. But I think from what you're saying, it's met your expectations or exceeded your expectations. I don't know. It's you're very happy, I think, with both of these aspects. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It's the material, the converter, and the lens and the camera is perfect. And well, the camera say to you, "I am very good," and the lens also. If you are also good, we are a great team. And if that comes together, you get great results. So I go now to the fourth
Yeah.
picture.
Ooh.
Yes, this is taken in the last light in the evening. Also a great a detail because I like that. Look to his eye. It's and the colors are brightful, and you see also the water drops on his feathers around his eye. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So and that's what I want to show people about the teleconverters with this combination with this lens, that it's perfect. You don't have, I don't see a loss of sharpness or details.
But do remember, Gustav, we still want to sell some 400 millimeters and 600 millimeters. You're trying to do us out of sales here, aren't you?
Yeah.
But no, it is really useful, as you guys are mentioning. You're traveling to all these places. The 300 millimeter, like you say, with those teleconverters, obviously a great option. And it also comes with a handy kind of soft pouch that, again, a lot of people, it's quite interesting. I never had so much feedback on a case that it's really easy to carry around rather than being in just a hard case.
Yeah.
That it is something which is really portable. You have one in front of you there. There you go. Great example. I never expected to receive such good feedback on this, but actually a lot of photographers in different areas told me that it's great because it's small and light, it protects it, and they can kind of take it anywhere. So that's really useful. Let's have a look at another photo, shall we?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Now, Gustav, I'm coming to realize that you and Petar and Antonio are actually all portrait photographers, yeah? Because it is, you guys are all showing me amazing kind of portraits, and I'm getting stared out by animals here. Tell us about this one. This is beautiful.
This is an angry bird, I think, but but it's well, it's look very concentrate, and it looks to me. and I take the camera vertical, this not landscape but portrait stand, and yeah, I it comes to me, but I saw the light is almost the same, and on the left side and the right side. So yeah, I saw the shot and I take it, and I was very happy with it. In camera, I see it already, and with this also you see all the details.
Yeah.
I think it's funny the feathers. It's in the Netherlands they noem it kroeskop pelikaan. Kroeskop means that it's weird. It's a little bit. Yes, and he looks very angry or intense to me. So
No,
that's
no,
why.
it's really nice. And also, I guess probably what we don't mention here as well. I mean, we've seen this also, I think, with, I was going to mention for Antonio's polar bear picture as well. And with this, you guys also have to get your exposure right as well, because you've got all those white feathers, you've got a white background here. So you're probably automatically thinking about this, but probably in your composition, that also, you have to work quickly probably to get that exposure just right as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
So we go
brilliant.
to the last picture.
Ooh.
Yes, I like. Well, if the camera has the autofocus on his eye, so I use Bird IF, and I use autofocus zone. Uh,
Mm.
and because why? Because it's a big part of the view. And well, when there is a bird coming into the zone, he takes it. And then I have also the eye focus, the eye focus tracking, and then it follows his eye, and I have here maybe 30, 40, 50 pictures when he's landing. But this particular shot I take because you see the wing is touching the water.
Mm.
So yeah, I like that very much. And you see also close to his left feet, for the bird, it's his right one, but you see also the water drops of his
Mm.
of his feet. The light is perfect. Yeah, it's and I use the lens also handheld because it's very light, and that's also a benefit. The lens is extremely light. When I get this lens, the 300, and I have it in the box, I think my first reaction was it's empty. There is no lens in the box because it felt so light. So then I open it and I see the lens, and I was, wow, this is because, well, if you use the 400, I have the 400 also. And well, if you use it a few hours, you feel it in your arms after a few hours.
Mm.
This lens you can use the whole day. It's much lighter, and yes, so it's I think for wildlife with the combination with the teleconverters is perfect because you don't use it. You don't have to need a tripod. So you have a small camera back with the camera and the lens and the teleconverters, and then you finished. A lot of cards, of course, and there's a few batteries, and then then you go.
Ah.
This
Well,
was
thank you.
pictures about 300.
Thank you very much for giving us a really good introduction to that lens. Like I say, you've really shown what it's able to do and what it's able to do also with the teleconverter as well. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gustav. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a different type of lens. And Petar's been using a lot our 70 to 200 millimeter f4 macro G2 lens. And wow, talk us through this image and your experiences with the lens, Petar, please.
When I received the lens, I was really amazed how light and small it is, even if it's f4. But as you can see,
Ooh.
really small, and it extends, but not too long. It's still really small, and you can attach the teleconverter. It becomes 400 millimeter, and it has capability of 1-to-1 reproduction, EA magnification. So this particular shot of dragonfly, it's a female broad-bodied chaser. Um, it's almost at 1:1 magnification. So I made that really nice composition, and you can see the reflections on its wings. It was actually a newborn, to say, because the dragonflies are going from the stadium to become nymphs. So then are adult dragonflies. And this whole process actually develops in nature very quickly, and it may be require about one less than 1 hour. It's about half hour. So the wings were still having that shiny reflection. It was very nice to capture all these details with the Sony A7R Mark V with amazing 60 megapixel resolution, and it's really detailed when you zoom at 100 or even 200%.
Wow, it really is stunning. And is this a stacked image?
Yeah. The A7R Mark V feature finally has this feature, and now I using it regularly. And of course, because of the supersonic motors on the lens uh, are very precise, and you can have this feature. I even want to have a bit wider range for focus stacking, because you don't even need that precise narrow adjustment in the camera. But the most amazing thing about using teleconverters with unusual lens like this, because it's still a zoom lens, it's not that usual that you use 70-200 for macro shots. But now it actually becomes macro lens, so I forgot. Oh, but this is still 70-200, and you can use it for travel. It's lightweight. It's small. You can use for landscapes. You can use it for portraits. Everything basically. If you're, of course, good with f4, but in a macro, it doesn't really matter if it's f4, because when you attach the teleconverter, it's f8. So now you have 400 millimeter. If you want, of course, you can zoom out. But I every time I use it as 400, and I don't go each time 1:1, because dragonflies are quite bigger insects, so you don't need to be at 1:1. And then I still have to close aperture to gain depth of field. So the f8 is not problem at all, and the best surprise is our performance, because you don't feel any loss of sharpness. You don't see that any chromatic aberrations or something that will degrade the picture quality. It just stays there. So I will even dare to say that maybe this lens is the most how to say it doesn't feel the 2x teleconverter at all. You will thought that it's normal without anything. So it's so sharp, and clarity is so good that you will be blown away. But I'm still amazed, even if I use it like about 1 year now, and it's phenomenal.
Well, it's really good to hear. Like I say, for anybody out there who's not as familiar with this lens, as Petar said, it's an f4 lens, which by nature also has naturally a 0.5 times magnification, so half macro capability. And as Petar's mentioned there, you combine the 2 times teleconverter, and it gives you full 1:1 macro, so 1 times magnification, which is, like I say, is pretty amazing. When, as he mentioned there, he kind of almost forgets that it's a 70-200. So for all those other wildlife uses, which are a bit more traditional, non-macro, you have that capability all in one lens at the same time. And what we were also mentioning about stacking there, again, many of you might be familiar, but just in case anybody isn't, in the Alpha 7R Mark V, we introduced focus bracketing. So you can change the point of focus sequentially just by pressing the shutter button. It can take multiple images with a different focus point. And then afterwards, you have these different images with slightly different focus, where then Petar and other photographers can go into software and combine them together to get an extended depth of field, because obviously that kind of macro photography is super shallow depth of field. So that's exactly what we were talking about there. Let's have a look at another photo, if we may, please, Petar. Let's have a look at another image. Ooh, tell us about this one.
So this is a black Apollo butterfly, and I found it on that beautiful stem. It's dried up still, and there was not much color in the environment, so it was actually good because it almost became like black and white, and I was even thinking to convert to black and white. It looks also very good, but even with these gentle colors, almost like a single tone, it's really nice, and because of and composition, everything is just as it has to be. So I remember that when I made this photo, it was really tough because wind was giving me the headache. Not really, like pain, but I was you know waiting to calm down a little bit just to make the focus stacking possible, because it was just moving, and you cannot then do the focus stacking right. But at some point it stopped, so then I took my chance. I was waiting like almost 2 hours for this. Luckily, I was in some kind of shade um, next to the bushes. So, and then I could take the shot and did the focus stacking. So I started from the closest point, and then the camera did the focus stacking, and it finished. The good thing is that it makes it really fast. So this actually was saving me for getting the shot right, and kudos to Sony.
No. Kudos to the photographer, because like you say, those colors just work perfectly, complement each other. That's really nice. Let's have a look at another one of your shots, shall we?
Yeah, and this is the Downy Emerald Dragonfly. It's very nice. They have some kind of fluorescent metallic green eyes, and especially on these with the background, a little bit of yellow, and the green is very good, tempting to look at. And it was covered with dew, and because sometimes there are really fresh mornings, and then you find dragonflies and other insects still sleeping. They are like in a hibernate state, so you can actually then easily take pictures because they are not moving, and that is crucial with the macro photography. The wind is the worst enemy, obviously. So then I it was this shot was actually very easy to make, at least for me. So I also did the focus stacking, and now there is I can use the lens at f8 and 400 millimeter. This way I can preserve the background blur, which is at f8 and 400 millimeter, still very blurry, even though this grass was like maybe 3 or 4 meters away, and normally you will, with the lesser um, focal length, like 90 millimeter, for example, you will see these lines of the grass. But now with this lens, No, this is the background is just blurring out, and the subject is you can use even f8 at open aperture with 2x teleconverter and have the blurred background and still made the focus stacking, and then you have all of the subject in depth of field that is sharp, perfectly sharp, and you can zoom on any time, any um, a part of picture and have beautiful details.
You're making it sound all so easy. I think within this, you're showing us your experience exactly of understanding, and like as you mentioned, like the colors in the background, they're really complementing the colors there.
Yeah.
Like I say, on the insect, you're making me very jealous, very very jealous, Petar. Let's have another look at another shot.
No need to be jealous. You just take the lens and go out, find some these beautiful models, and you can do it. If you struggle, you can always come to me. I will gladly show you. Okay, now this is the female dragonfly of broad-bodied chaser. And I was also having struggles with the weather here, wind, but as you can see now, I was catching a little bit of sunrise in top of the frame. So the light was coming out of the wings, so you can see that little light on the dragonfly, and I even managed to do focus stacking from the very first, the closest part of wings till the end. So I'm reasonably satisfied with the result I got.
Wow. Like I say again, the colors really coming through, and again, I don't think it's a coincidence that you fit the background in perfectly just to work with that. So it's very beautiful.
Thank you. And so let's go to the last picture. This is also very colorful. I like to allow a bit of light to go into the lens, especially when it's at sunrise. So then I can have a bit of dramatic feeling on the photo, but also sometimes the edges got this beautiful color of gold and orange and like something like this. So this orange tip butterfly was still standing still on the flower, and it was all really eye catchy with the colors that came out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are those the natural colors of the wings, or is that something that's rubbed onto it?
Yeah. When they opened the wings on each side, they have these orange marks and are really nice. But when they close wings, because they are basically now closed, there is like a bit of magenta and orange, as you can see on the wings, and other parts from the below are more like green and yellow. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for showing us the great capabilities of the 7200G Mark II. Like I say, it's really, really stunning images. Now, finally, we're also going to look at some of Antonio's images as well that he's been taking with the Alpha 9 Mark III. So that's, like I say, is one of our latest cameras, which has the world's first full-frame global shutter, 120 frames per second, pre-capture, lots of amazing features. But Antonio, please talk us through this image.
A9 Mark III is the maximum expression of the velocity, of the speed. No more to this. No more to say more about this. Yeah, but in the picture is two bee eaters making things of bee eaters, yeah? copulating in the branch. Yeah, it's taken in the breeding season in Spain. It is 1 week ago, and it's absolutely amazing work with 120 frames per second, because it's absolutely fantastic. Because I want to explain something, because just not only 120 per second, more or less about during 2 seconds, more or less. Depends of the car, depends of the frame, depends of the weight of the frame. But when they stop when they stop the 120, automatically the camera works at 60, and this is absolutely fantastic because it's not stop the action. Because sometimes like this, the action probably during more than 2 seconds, and the camera no block, no say busy thinking. No. Start working. Stay working, and it's fantastic for us because maybe not in 120, but yes in 60. But this is absolutely amazing. Okay, in this picture, but this is similar like the Peter. It's fantastic moment, and exactly in the moment when the male is kissing the female in the branch, but in the sun of Spain. Yeah. The next, sorry,
Ooh.
is taken with the last picture is taken with the 602. Okay, 600
Ah, yeah,
f
yeah.
f lens. Okay, this is a little booster. This is a special animal because it's in the meeting season. Make a a small dance and jump and make a display to see up of the grass. Okay, and this is just a little bit half a second, less than a second. With this camera is absolutely amazing because you start the dance and go and make the highlight moment, and it's absolutely amazing. This is I say the same with the focus. You only must to put the animal in the frame, but this is more easier, and you can see surrounding what is happening in the environment in the area. Okay, one thing I want to say more. One thing is the grip and the ergonomic of the A9 Mark III is absolutely amazing because it's so rounded than my A1 or i7 R5. It's absolutely amazing because when you stay all day with the camera working, for me it's usual all days. Probably I take more than 1 million pictures per year. It's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. And when you work all days with the cameras, you feel the difference with and in this case, when you track without tripod, it's absolutely amazing. Have a very good grip, but that I think is the best camera grip I try for Sony. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
but this is
absolutely. So no, I was just going to say you're absolutely right. We did redesign the grip on the Alpha 9 Mark III. So our engineers and designers are continuously trying to listen to
yeah.
feedback from people like Antonio and Gustav and Petar
Yeah,
for what we
exactly.
can do.
But this is absolutely real because when I started to Sony 3 years ago, I talked to my pro Javier, my pro support,
Hmm.
and I said I need change 3 years last. The camera grip is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. The next picture
Hmm.
is taken in Ornoia in Norway during a storm, a snowstorm. It's the same like the first picture, the A1. This is most difficult situation because in this case is worse because it's worse situation because it's more distance than the polar bear, and the snow is absolutely difficult for the AF systems. In this case, the puffing is absolutely sharpened, it's absolutely fantastic, and but not only this, the 100 last before or after is excellent. Okay, but it's a very hard condition for the camera and the lens, and it's really good to work, and you have put the bird in the place you want in the frame. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, it's taken with the 602 and a 9 Mark III. And this is a ghost hack taken in Spain too, in Madrid. It's a no crop. This is the full frame
Oh.
picture. This is really really difficult to put all things in the correct place. Okay, with the low light, it's the same. The low light and dynamic range. But I don't use the Photoshop too much. I prefer the pure image, the pure raw. With this camera is absolutely excellent, and the sharpening, the ghost hack is absolutely excellent, and there's nothing but words to say that only say this excellent camera, it's excellent sharpen, excellent the series, the all series of this picture is absolutely sharpened. You can choose one, two, three. The problem is what delayed or erase of the series. It's a big problem. Yeah. This is Gashak taken in Madrid 2 months ago. And the last is a puffing tool, like Gustav is taking in Ornoya. I think Gustav, all photographers love the puffins. Yeah, but this is two preferred animals. I don't no three. I don't know a photographer who don't like take picture for puffins, for bee eaters, or for kingfisher. All photographers love it. Yeah, never is enough about this species. Yeah, but this is taken on a white background, as you think is a snow in the March in Ornoya, Iceland, and it's excellent. And I I need to say it because the environment of this picture is not all snowy. There's different backgrounds. There's a rocks, there's a sea, there's a sky, and the camera in other environment and other situation just follow the animal and don't forget. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, but it's for me it's very important to work with this camera because I changed to the cold Antarctica. In the next week I go to the Borneo jungle and in 2 days stay in the 45 degrees in the south of Spain with the lynxes. But I need to trust the camera, and actually for me this camera and A1 and i7 R5 for me is the best choose to work for my diary photography days. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your endorsements, and hopefully for you viewers, it's given you a bit of an insight into the Alpha 9 Mark III there in terms of its capability, as Antonio was mentioning, having those 120 frames per second, all in focus, that
Yeah.
real-time recognition autofocus continuously working. So you could see in a lot of those images, the depth of field was very shallow, but he was able to capture the eye and hopefully
Yeah.
help him and his job in those different situations.
Yeah, but I feel something because since I use the A9 Mark III, the problem for the A1, I love the A1. This is it for me is the most camera I use because I feel the A1 is slow because it's yeah, yeah, but it is not slow. This is 20 images per second. It's too much. But when I use this, oh my god, this is absolutely this is too much. This is no rival.
Well, thank you for your endorsement there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring everybody also back in with us here. And as one of the final things I want to request of you guys, so thank you very much for, like I say, giving us those insights to those products. Like I say, looking at the 300mm with Gustav, the 7200G Mark II with Petar, and the Alpha 9 Mark III with Antonio. I want to take advantage of having you guys here, and I would like you maybe each to give one piece of advice or one tip to our viewers out there. So this is for people who, like I say, might be interested in wildlife photography. They might be starting out in wildlife photography. Maybe they want to become a professional wildlife photographer. If you can give one tip about anything, so whether it's about equipment, or it could be about attitude to photography, or preparation, or we've mentioned weather quite a lot, so this kind of thing, please, like I say, share your amazing knowledge with us. So, Gustav, have you got maybe one piece of advice or tip you could give to our viewers?
Yes, well, I said it before. I always say bad weather is color weather. So for me, that's very important in photography that I don't have to have hard light. So I always like cloudy weather, a little bit soft. And it's like a soft box in the studio. Uh,
Yeah.
my advice is look for cloudy weather, and the colors are better then.
Oh, thank you very much, Gustav. Antonio, have you got one tip or piece of advice you'd like to give our viewers?
Yeah. For me, it's perseverate. Okay, because never surrender. Because it's very usual you go to the field and doing nothing, and this is not the end. This is all the process. Okay. Yes, this is for me is the best tip. Yeah, no
Thank you
surrender.
Thank you. And Petar, have you got one bit of advice you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, patience is the key also, like everybody says, and you have to be, try and try till you get that what you have imagined. Don't disturb animals, be respectful, and the result will come.
Thank you very much. I like to say, I think all three of you have shown that you have a real wealth of experience. So you're, like I say, persevering, like Antonio says, and you're being patient, like you say, Petar. But all of your knowledge that we've seen come out in those photos, although you've had to maybe wait a long time for some of those shots, I get a feeling that you would have had to wait even longer, or you wouldn't have got those shots if you didn't have that experience of being in those situations, so you know where to be or how to treat the animals and be around them. So, like I said, I think that really shows through your work. So, thank you for that. What we'll also do now is we will direct people so they can understand where to find more information about you guys, more of your work and more of your images. So for those of you who are interested, please go and have a look. Like I say, you'll be able to find Gustav at Gustav Kiburg Photography on Instagram. You'll also be able to find Petar Sabol, and also on Facebook as well. And also for Antonio, you've got at Liebana as well. Please, please, please go and have a look at their accounts. Give them a follow because they have amazing content. You've only seen a little bit of it today. Maybe some cat photos from Petar as well, as we see there. But please, like I say, go on and have a look at their work because it really is beautiful and really, really inspiring. Added on to that, we are broadcasting this webinar on our Alpha Universe platform, and you'll be able to find many stories from photographers and filmmakers, including our three guests today. Also have stories which we have up on the website. In fact, you can see here on the screen, we've even got more information from Gustav and his experience with the 300mm. So if you want to find out more about that, of course, that's also included already on there. But many stories from photographers and filmmakers, and you can filter even by different cameras or also different types of stories within there. So please feel free to have a look further on Alpha Universe at many of the great contents. And what we also have on Alpha Universe is our Alpha Academy platform. So again, this is a free platform which only needs a My Sony login. So that's a free My Sony account anybody can register for. And here, like I say, you'll be able to find tutorials for photography, for filmmaking, from beginners all the way through to master classes, where again, you can access a wealth of videos online there. And so now all that leaves me to do is, first of all, say a massive, massive thank you to our three guests today, to Gustav, Petar, and Antonio. Thank you so much for your time and and sharing your work and experiences with us. It is been absolutely fantastic. I'm also, like I say, in my mind, I'm thinking more and more about what I can do better next time I'm out with any kind of wildlife, because it's really been inspiring. So thank you so much for your time. And as I mentioned to people at home, please feel free to go on to those social accounts and check out these guys' work as well. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we will see you viewers next time for our next Sony Alpha webinar. Thank you.